Lisa Ann McCall, physical therapist, posture princess, lover of movement. Today, we're going to talk about turning from your center. But we're going to do it as if I'm on a bed, but I'm going to use the floor. And you can do this on your bed, or you can do this on your floor. Lots of people have pain when they turn in bed. Okay? So you don't need to do that. You don't need to have pain. You could actually strengthen your back while you're in bed. People don't realize, and you'll hear me say this more than once, that your life moves are your healing moves. What are life moves? Lying in bed, turning in bed, getting out of bed, going to the bathroom, getting up, bending, walking, sitting, standing. There you go. That's life moves. Those are all the moves you never look at. And then you want to go play pickleball and you don't know why you fell. Well, your foundation is not real strong. Partly because you spend most of your life not using your body intelligently. I don't mean that to be an insult, but the bottom line is people all over the world that live off the land, and as we did at one time in this country, have a lot more physical intelligence than we do. And it's an intelligence, it's a language, it's a know-how. And it's a very, very deep, satisfying know-how. It's more than just, oh, my back feels better. It is, wow, movement is easy. Movement's enjoyable. It's a meditation. I feel like I'm doing my own Tai Chi by just moving in my house. That's how deep it can go. Okay? But you didn't have to. If you want to just feel better getting out of bed, well, let's do it. Here's something that's fun. In physical therapy, they will teach you this movement that I'm about to do, to roll to your side, to sit up. And it's a movement that people teach to protect your back, to get up so you won't hurt your back. But I teach it as a skill. I've even taught it to high-level Aikido teachers, which are called senseis, to show them how they can teach their students how to turn. So in Aikido, in most martial arts, turning is like very important. How to turn, the quality of turning, the power of turning from your center. And so I've shown this to them. They love it, and they are going to use it and have used it to start to teach people how to turn. Because when I lie on my back and turn, I have more of my body there. I don't have to concern myself with other parts of my body versus being on my feet. I have to think about a lot more. There's less holding me up. On the bed or on the floor, I can focus just on turning. At least you'll see. All right, so we're going to go down. I'm going to go to the floor. I'm going to show you some ways of doing something you may already know how to do, fundamentally, like, just turn to your side and sit up. But I'm going to make it into something that really strengthens your back, gives you greater awareness. I do teach how to get up out of bed different. I have a more advanced way of teaching it. It doesn't matter. Why not start with this and then you can learn the other later. The other is a bit more advanced. So what? We can do that on another time. Let's start with something you may already know and really spice it up to make it work for you also in standing, so you can turn better in standing. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to the floor. That's a nice little 4 minutes there. All right, I'm going to the floor, which is going to be my bed. Okay, I have to be able to see it. I can't see it.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so.
I'm going to have to.
Okay, that's fine. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a pillow here, and I'm going to play like I'm on the bed. They think they're on their bed. They're on their bed. So here I am. I'm on the floor.
Can you see it?
No. And so I'm going to.
Can't take notes.
I'm going to bend. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful.
Can't take notes.
I'm going to bend the knees up, and I'm going to, because it's a shorter lever arm. If I'm trying to turn with my legs straight, it is going to be harder. I want you to get in contact between your hip and your shoulder. So I have these two bones. That's the advanced way of sitting up. Shoulder, hip. well, just think of these two bony areas, okay? Bony areas. That's what I'm cluing into. What I want in here is to not twist at this moment. I don't want to twist. Can you tip it down?
I can't take notes if I'm.
Okay, so here we are. We're right here. There we are. Now I'm going to take this okay, first things first. I'm going to stick my belly out, which seems very counterintuitive. Okay? I'm going to stick my belly out, and I feel contraction everywhere. It seems very odd to go, stick tummy out. Puts a little arch in your back. It stabilizes you. And it also teaches you, don't suck your stomach in. It's not natural. Press it out, and the reason we're pressing it out is because you're going to want it to relax. You want to have the ability to press it out and relax. Press it out and relax. There are moments when you do tilt your pelvis in different ways, but you do not need to suck your stomach in. There's rarely ever a time to suck in makes any sense. So let's just leave it alone for a while. See if this works for you. So I'm going to stick my tummy out, and so I'll show you a little bit, give you my white tummy here. I'm going to stick it out, all right? Now that would be sucking in, and that's sticking out, okay? I don't know that you can see that really, but so do it. So I'm going to stick out. Now what I want to do is roll to the side. I'm going to roll that way. Now if I just twisted, a lot of people don't like that. There's a lot of reasons they don't like it, but let's just go with the fact it's not comfortable. Or you could kind of lead with your head. You can lead with your hips or your head. Neither one of those are what we want to do. We want to take these two bony areas, stick our tummy out, and we want to turn. We want to really feel like I'm going to turn from here, and I'm turning from here. Boom. Boom. You should feel kind of strong doing it, like your body just can do it. So it's tummy out, shoulders, turn. And then go back. Why not I try this way? Turn. Now am I using my feet? Yeah, I'm using my feet a little. And that's good. That's fine. But you're going to turn as a unit. Now, what I tell people, you're usually next to the bed, your edge of bed, and you're going to turn, you're going to get up from there. And I would just always keep this unit as straight. Just think of it as stable together. By sticking your tummy out, it stays pretty strong. And I can roll back, I can turn, I can roll this way. But I have to have an idea that these two areas are in sync. They are in sync. And if I stick my tummy out, I have a lot more power. At least early on I do. Okay? Because most people are not real aware and stable in here, been taught to drop their tailbone, which takes out your natural sacral arch that you have in your spine, which it creates instability. And I didn't design the spine, obviously you know that. But if you look at people from countries that carry things on their head, it's very subtle unless they don't have a lot of clothes on and you can look at their back. But they don't look much different than a little kid standing with their tush sticking out, and a baby. So a baby and a small child have optimal posture, okay? Optimal posture is like optimal golf swing, optimal tennis stance. It's no different. It's not a right or wrong. It's an evolution of using it, and then you start to get to know it, and you feel the intelligence. Yeah, you can feel moving smart. And so we have in our heads this idea of posture. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's wrong. That's not my world. That's not my world. My world is, if you've got a golf stance, that is a posture that you are going to put together and evolve it into what you want in this beautiful golf swing. So this here is just, this could go into your golf swing. Could help your golf swing. So, there it is. Keep these two together. Stick your tummy out. See what happens. And feel the difference in your ability to move well. And you should feel like you're stronger. You feel a little more stable when doing it. So if you just did that with me, you could have done it with me on the floor. You can ask me questions about it, because it's something they teach all the time in physical therapy, but I teach it a little more specific for back strengthening, stability, movement intelligence, which is another word for skill, or another phrase, I should say, for skill.
Nancy in Sun City asks, I know you tell us to stick our stomachs out, but does it help to have stronger abs to help turn? Okay,
you are using your abs, and yes, it does. But I don't follow muscles, I follow structure. I cannot have a stronger, let's see how I want to say this. If my abs are strong but my back isn't strong, there's not a balance. Everything should be strong together. And the kind of strength I'm looking at is the skill of movement strength. So there's two ways in which we get strong, and this is just science. Increase in muscle girth, bigger muscles, or the coordination of a movement. That's skill. Those are the two ways in which we, in general, I mean, you can expand from those, but let's just keep fundamental. Two ways. So if you go do stomach crunches, that is not necessarily going to make you stronger to do things with your body. See, I don't care about strength without being able to use it. Some people do. Some people do. Some people like to do a lot of weightlifting and get really big muscles because they like the aesthetics of it. That does not mean that that person is more able to do more things with those big muscles. They may be able to. Maybe they play football. You know, there's lots of, a lot of gray, but your muscles are not designed to be worked in isolation unless you've had surgery and we have to start to work muscles to re-educate your body, to reconnect. So people who work muscles in isolation, like abdominals, I have to stop them from doing that and create an abdominal exercise for them that connects their back and their hips, or relaxes their hips and connects other areas of their body that are weak from a functional point of view or from a skilled point of view. So I never look at a muscle group like I got to have strong abs so my back doesn't hurt. Doesn't make any sense, and there's a lot of research that's not promoting that concept. But I don't like to get caught up in concepts. I like for you to go try it. Stick your tummy out right now and touch it, and you'll feel that it's contracted. Okay? That's a belly dancer. Belly dancers are really strong. They can take their bellies in and out and in and out. A lot of people can do that because that's just a dynamic movement. So out or in isn't wrong or right. But what isn't working for people is pulling in, dropping the tailbone. It is creating lots of issues because I see them and seen them for about 25 years. And so that's kind of when this whole idea started. So your abdominals, if you lie on the floor and feel this and you stick your tummy out and turn, you will feel you are working your abs, but you're not working them in isolation. You're working them in conjunction to your back and other areas of your body. I never try to figure out what all muscle groups are working. I trust the central nervous system to know how what muscle groups need to work when I am more focused on the skill of the movement, that I am moving correctly, or I'm moving more as I'm designed, so that the correct muscle groups will kick in. And another piece you just need to know is there is a real problem in our society today is not knowing how to relax. We have to be honest with this. Relaxing is a difficult thing. So if I am able to just focus on moving correctly, sticking my tummy out, relaxing my tummy when I'm done, I can begin to relax. Then I get strong, I move well, and I heal. So I have 3 ways of putting these things together. I'm skillfully moving, which helps me relax, because then I can relax. I mean, how many people have you heard that said when they get up to play golf, or they need to relax, they need to set up? What are they setting up? Muscles? No, they're setting their structure up. Relax, set up. Trust the process. If you do something wrong, go back and look at how you were moving, and then let the muscles do what they're supposed to do. That's my way of seeing everything in that area.
Francine in Frankfort, Illinois says, I know you say that your feet can help you turn when your knees are bent, but do my feet turn at the same time as my belly?
Yeah. I mean, my feet kind of go along with it. Like I turn and I pushed off with my foot a little, and my feet just follow. They're not leaders. I'm not pushing my feet first. They're followers. So it's like right now, if I turn my center, my feet will push a little. Now, I don't leave my feet behind, but I let them follow the center of my body. And that's not easy for some people. But you will feel it as you put your focus on your center of your body, right here. And I'm going to do it in standing. As I put my focus here, sometimes I'll take my pants and turn them, like I just take them and I turn them. Then what happens is my feet are pushing, but they're following. I'm not doing this, then this. And I'm not turning and leaving my feet planted. So it's the same thing on the bed or on the floor. You're going to understand what I have saying if you do it. You're going to know. You will get your own answers. You'll know what works and doesn't work. And this is not what most people are taught in the fitness world and in the rehab world. They're not taught to trust that their body knows. I am way out of the box there, but I know your body knows, and I know that you can tap into that intelligence. And if you tap into that intelligence, you feel much more empowered and you heal much better.
Eve in Flagstaff asks, I was doing it while you were doing it, and it seemed easier for me to turn if my legs were extended.
Okay, let me see. I don't feel that way, but that if it is for you, that's fine. And the reason I feel it's a little harder for me is because when I do that, I have to have a whole lot more power because I have a longer lever to turn. Okay? So if it works for you, and maybe you're pushing from your heels, that's fine. I found that pushing with my knees bent made us shorter. It made me shorter, less real estate to turn. Longer lever arm, a lot more coordination and power I need. But if it's working, it's not wrong. You're not going to do it wrong. The only way you're going to do it wrong is if you just don't take those principles. So extending your legs, maybe you're using your heels a little. Either way, if it's working for you, that's fine. It's not a right or wrong. I just find it a little easier to have my knees bent. Doesn't matter.
These next 2 questions have to do with what comes next. Colleen and Paige says, what happens after turning? Do I push up with my arms with equal strength?
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm not on a bed, so it's a little hard to show. But most people, they turn to the side and they drop their feet over the edge and come and push their hand, push up on that side. So if you are close to the edge of the bed, what you need to be when you do this, if you're going to do it to get up. If you just want to roll back and forth to get strong, that's fine. You could be in any part of the bed. But if you want to get up, you're close to the edge, and then you can use either hand, but make sure your feet go off as you press yourself up. You can use both hands or one hand. But whatever side you're on, you're going to use that hand more. And I really care more about this part of your body working together. And this is catchy because if you're dropping your feet and coming up, it's a little bit of a, you have to learn that balancing act there. But if you don't twist and bend and you understand how to get up to make your body bend as a unit, it sounds strange, but it's a foundation to your movement. If you can keep things in line when you do that or attempt to, you're going to be strengthening your back. So both hands if you want, but primarily the hand that you're closest to the bed.
And the next one along those lines is let's see here. Terry in Munns Park says, is it bad to rock from your back to get upright? Like you just did.
Like I got up. That's a whole different. That's a different skill set I'm going to teach in another video. I stick my stomach out. I have an arch in my back. I push myself up as a unit. I don't bend at the waist. If you want a quick little know-how of that, I could do another one next week on getting up that way so you could compare the two. So that to me is a true sit-up. I stick my tummy out. I hinge up with an arch in my back and I use my hands. It is not easy for many people to do. It demands strength through your whole body. So I teach this one sideways. I love this new side thing because you can lie in bed and not really get up. You could just play with it. And then if you wanted to use it to get up, you could. I've always wanted something a little less demanding to teach first so that the one where you hinge up, yes, you can hinge up, is a little easier to do. Just because you're getting strong and more centered and more skilled. Centered skill is strength. Get centered in your body, get skilled at your movements, which means you're going to focus on your structure, relax, you'll get strong. I promise. Now what?
Last one. Billy in Portland says, I thought I saw one of your videos that teaches us to lead with our stomach turning, and then your shoulders will follow, not having those two areas work together.
Well, no, it was when I was showing that one, your shoulders will follow. I meant if you were this one, your shoulders follow. But it's not like I turn, twist, and then they follow. So it may have come across like I was twisting, but yes, when I'm standing, it's going to be different than lying. Yes, I get it now. When I'm standing, it's more like a dance. Here's my pants. I turn and my shoulder does follow, but I'm not doing this. I'm not turning and, shoulder is back, come and follow. They are a unit, but most of my focus and my focus is here and standing. When I'm lying, people complain about back pain because they'll turn their back and leave their shoulder behind. So I'm more about teaching it as a unit on the bed because of the problems people have had. Whereas in standing, most people's shoulder will just come along for the ride. I don't have a lot of people complaining, well, I turned and moved my feet, but I kept my shoulder back. I usually teach based on what people want and need and have had problems with. So you brought a really good point. When I'm standing, I need my feet to be mobile, and I would love for my shoulders and hips to stay in line. Dancing. What goes on? They don't turn and you do this. I mean, you can. But what you see in dancing is how to turn. You turn from the center. The feet always move, and the shoulders and hips, the torso stays like a mirror to the other person. So that is technically, I could have been more clear about the shoulder in the turning and standing. So I am now. But it's not usually something you have to think about. On the bed you do. On the bed it twists. So it sounds like next week I need to talk about how to sit up. And I call it the sit-up. The real sit-up. Where'd we go?
Just keep talking.
Okay, so it's the sit-up. It's how to sit up in bed or sit up off the floor like I just did. And so you're going to learn to come up from that position. I highly recommend that you practice the other thing that you were doing that I taught today, the turning, and then we'll do that other one where we're coming up. We'll probably be back to, what were we, 12? What time, Pacific time? We were around 12 or 12?
11:30.
11:30 or 12 next week. Anyway, we'll make it a little later next week, but it's always going to be during this kind of these hours, Pacific time, on Thursdays. So thank you for coming, and like, share, and what was the other one?
Subscribe.
Would you please email me at mccallmethod.com if you have questions or you have ideas that you would like things covered? I mean, just all you got to do is say, would you talk about